Hello everybody, how are you on this wonderful day? The title of this video is Twin Flames and Energetic Feedback Loops. Yes, you can have everything that you desire. Spiritual feedback loops of energy. You can put energy out and it comes back, and then you put more out until you feel depleted or you can't do it in a sustainable way. It can seem like you put a lot out but you get very little back. There's no need to draw from that limited well. We can drain ourselves, we can work ourselves to death. That's the ego's feedback loop. It burns energy like oil, unsustainably killing the planet, just like in one's life when they align to that thought system. There's a feedback loop where you get positivity and increase, and draw your energy from the divine, the only source, the unlimited well. Obey the divine laws to support you, or it won't be sustainable. You're heading towards unlimited abundance. Know how to draw unlimited energy from your source, and you'll have a life, your exquisite romance, relationships, you'll have your home with more energy in it. Ego tells you that you have to take to have your good. People are marginalized to extract resources for another group who sees the first group as lesser, and they are rewarded by ego for this untruth. You're less than I, so I enslave my brother and myself. The law of cause and effect, and that's not the way. No one can ever get ahead on the karmic wheel. It turns, the oppressor becomes the oppressed, and the oppressed becomes the oppressor. When you're a bully, you become the victim. The devil's feedback loop, the ego's feedback loop. Kingdoms rise and fall, and one and his brother are trapped in this hellish dance, and one always loses. The casino always wins. The ego's system extracts payment every time. It's an abusive pattern. What goes up must come down. Win, lose, duality, the karmic wheel turns and turns. The duality is a mask to cover up the real game, the extraction of one's life force. One doesn't normally notice how much is being extracted. In terms of your twin flame journey, it's about recognizing the importance of boundaries. This is not new information, it's foundational. Previous challenges were necessary for the next level, the next stop on the ascension journey. The divine knows all the lessons and has set you up for success. The divine sees 10 million steps ahead and beyond. God's got you lined up perfectly and has a better, easier way than your own. You weren't wrong, but couldn't see what God sees. It's okay to have blind spots because everybody has them. Honour the dream in your heart and stick to it. Harmonious union, a mansion, the perfect body, sex with your twin flame, friendships, social life, pets, business, partnerships. Honour your dream. Decide to move towards it. There's no need to concern yourself with how it's going to be. The energy comes from God. If you approach going to the gym with your old thought system feedback loop, you may wonder where you'll get the energy from. Taken away from relationships and career feels like a cost, and an expensive one at that. So what do you do if it feels like you need to choose between two things that you want, between two goods? Don't choose. It's an illusion. If sadness comes up at this, the sadness itself is the block. Work through it, sit with it, and grind it out. This is why spirituality is so hard as well as rewarding. It sets you apart because you don't have to sacrifice. It's a hard sell because the devil will tell you, the ego will tell you to choose between a sexy body or a lucrative career, for example. It tells you to wait on one to get the other. All you have to do is deal with the sadness. You can have it all if you face the sadness. Pay today. And you'll have an eternity of joy and happiness, because the sadness, uncomfortable as it is the way. See, still too hot. Moving through the sadness and facing it down is hard when instant escape is there from the misery the ego puts on one. The ego is both the carrot and the stick. You want the carrot. Who doesn't want a sexy body and loads of money and their twin flame? It's in your nature. You desire it. The desire comes from the divine. The ego directs you away from the divine to systematic damnation, pain, suffering, the matrix. Take the right pill and get out of the matrix. How does one get back to feeling one's feelings about the upset? Chop wood, carry water. Ascension is waking up to the glory of the divine, where you do have it all. Write a love list for your life. Get clear on your desires. If it's in your heart, it's never going to leave. If you've had trouble attracting all the qualities you've listed, you may feel sadness. That insidious little voice saying you can't have it. There's the sadness. That voice will say it will show you the way to your good. But it's terrible music. Tell that voice where to go. Don't listen to that sadness in your sleep instead of doing the mirror exercise. You're a revolutionary of the new earth, so don't resist that. You may see two options. Fitness, money. You can have both. Have both. It's fucked up to have to choose between two goods and go without one thing that your heart desires. The ego steps in and says pick one. It's absurd to choose between your good. Respect the fact that you can, if you can't finance both options at the moment, but it doesn't mean that you have to give up on one. You're meant to have everything. You're supposed to, but you probably won't be ordering the Bugatti Veyron from the council estate. Each rung must be climbed. Walking out of hell means no compromises. No giving anything up. No bad deals. Losing whichever way one goes is a hell. It's a negative feedback loop. There is a possible feedback loop for you where you win and win. You won't see your next wheel because of the illusion saying that you won't get it, and it will give you a mirage, and you just get a fantasy promise that just over the next ridge is water and there is only dry sand, and then water is promised just over the next ridge. That's the descent into misery. It's samsaric. Most people on this journey believe in it, at least in part. Very few can stand on their own feet vibrationally, and most people are still taking a lot of bad deals. Don't judge yourself for having taken a bad deal and feel guilty, because that's a negative feedback loop in itself. Even if someone only ever makes good deals, they won't see their dreams instantly. A big investment requires a lot of energy. Walk with the divine. Don't compromise and have an extraordinary life. It's not just the apple either. Ego will have you go after that, but the divine will have you have an entire orchard with every fruit, vegetable, herb, spice, flower. The divine will have you have all these things. Don't be tempted by a prune. One sits in sadness and watches others who were tempted by the ego's deal, apparently so far ahead. But quiet, silent growth is expanding in the darkness, growing the tools for the tyrant's destruction. Suffocate the ego with your joy. Outshine its righteousness with your eternal dawn comes fueled by your garden of fruits, which will continue to grow. It's the next level and the following level and the next level after that for eternity. It gets richer, more divine. You can express more of it that no one else can. The riches of heaven, endless fruits, abundance. Reach for the billion-pound yacht. Don't get scared and say you can't do that. The divine is your source with no limitations. All the places you'll go. Elevate your perspective on this. Be with it in your heart. Dreaming a dream is financing it. Let it percolate in your heart. Just because you can't see it and all you can do is dream it, watching everyone else apparently having your dream, don't you dare get depressed about it, because if you do, you create separation from being the unlimited creator that you are. Believe the truth. not the sad voice that talks nonsense. Be a warrior of the divine. Have faith in your dream. Think and speak about the miracles. Stand in faith when ego comes knocking. The devil comes to predate your dreams, but the ego is so weak that he needs you to lie down and strangle yourself for him. The veil is thinnest at dawn. It's a good time for vivid dreams. If you have numbness, step in and feel your feelings here. Thaw the frozen heart. Choose to sit in the uncomfortable place. Your divine presence alone does the work. And don't be attached. It's a fast-moving energy. Sit in the uncomfortable feeling, but never take the deal where you have to give up your good. Then you get to walk around like a fucking god, untouchable with the divine. Ego knows what to do to make you look bad. Refuse to live that way. Few people will actually notice your complete freedom unless they're jealous. Ego will try to make you not see, but it's not a friendly competitor. It's sick. That sickness envelops the minds of people. It's complete slavery. Have compassion for yourself first and liberate yourself so you can liberate others. Have compassion because that's what you are. You're a child of the Most High, heir to the kingdom. It's all yours. It's all here. It's all now. Compassion. Okay, everybody. I'm a bit out of breath after that one. Yeah, that was a good workout in itself. I hope that you enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.